Why didn't anybody tell me about lightning crotch? Because it's totally a thing and I had to Google it to find out what was going on in my body. And when I found out what it was called, lightning crotch, I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. It's a little bit bold of a term, but that's exactly what it feels like. It feels like a bolt of lightning shooting up your crotch. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys so much for joining. This week we're gonna be doing a little second trimester recap because I did do a first trimester recap. And if you missed it and you wanna check it out, I will link it down below. I think they're really fun to look back on. And I feel like you'll forget what you went through in your pregnancy because so much happens and every pregnancy is so different. So I really wanted to record these and have these to look back on. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of talk about symptoms and a couple of scary things that happened to me. At the end of this video, I will be answering your guys' questions that you asked me on Instagram. And yeah, we're gonna have a good time, a little catch up. We're just gonna start with the obvious. The obvious one is that if you do follow me on Instagram, you'll know why it's been 4 weeks since I've uploaded a video. And it's because I unfortunately tested positive for COVID about 3 weeks ago, and it was kind of a shock because I rarely leave the house. So I was just like, where did I get this? Like, this is crazy. It is nothing like the flu. I don't know who compares it to the flu because it's not like the flu at all. It's like awful, it's its own breed. It's scary, especially when you're pregnant because you're just like, how is this affecting my child? And you can't even go to the doctor to go check on them because they won't see you until you're negative. So if it's an emergency, you have to go to the hospital, and it's just like, ugh, I felt so sick. I was just out for 3 weeks on the couch watching movies. I know it sounds like, wow, what a dream. You're on the couch for 3 weeks, but no, it was awful. It was mentally, physically, and emotionally draining because all I could think about was, is my baby okay? You can't take anything. Like, you already can't take any medicine when you're pregnant. Like, all you can take is Tylenol. All you can do is just like wait it out and just drink a lot of water and fluids and eat healthy. I just constantly was just praying over him every single day that he was good and healthy. And like the nurses, all the nurses would tell me, it's just like, make sure he's still moving a bunch. So I was like constantly just like counting his kicks and making sure he was still really active. So yeah, it was the worst. It's been a little over 3 weeks now since I've tested positive and I feel pretty much fully recovered. I do feel still a little bit fatigued, but I feel like that's just my 3rd trimester because I don't know, it was just like the perfect storm of pregnancy and having COVID. And it all just like hit me all at the same time. So that was just like not fun. And I did experience pretty much all of the symptoms that you experience when you have COVID, you know, like loss of taste and smell, you know, stuffy nose, runny nose, fatigue, headaches, body aches, fever. The one that I think actually scared me the most was the shortness of breath. I really was like, oh, like what does that feel like shortness of breath? Because I actually didn't start feeling that until maybe like a week after I tested positive. And oh my gosh, it's the worst feeling. You like cannot take a full deep breath in. You just have to take like really short breaths. And if you take a super deep breath in or anything like that, you'll just have like a cough attack for like 5 minutes. And I was like, but thank God that only lasted like 3 days. And then I started getting better. And I'm so sorry for anybody that's going through that, pregnant or not pregnant, and I just pray that you will be healed in Jesus' name. But with that said, I just want to talk about this brand that sent me their humidifier at the perfect time because guys, I will tell you and be super honest with you, I will not share brands on any of my platforms just for money, just because. I will only share things that I actually really believe in, that I'm really passionate about, that I think that will benefit you guys and you will actually love as well. Because I think it's super annoying when people share products just because they get free products or because they get money or whatever, and that's just not gonna be me. I'm not gonna be doing that to you guys. So just know that if I'm sharing something with you, it's because you really love it and I think that you'll love it too. So I'm gonna share this product with you. It's actually sitting right behind me. His name's Winston because you can name it. I think it's super cute, but I will link it down below, and there's also a discount code I'll be linking for you guys as well if you're interested and you want to get it. So this is the Levoit 200S Smart Top Filler Humidifier. It's like a 2-in-1. It can be used as just a humidifier if you just want to put water in it, or it could also be used as like aromatherapy, so it could be used as a diffuser as well. And you guys know I love my diffusers. You'll just experience all the goodness all at the same time. I honestly think that this helped me so much when I had COVID because I put it right next to my bed. I feel like it helped me breathe at night because I literally cannot breathe through my nose. So it does connect to an app on your phone. From this app, you can literally just control the whole thing from your phone. So I'm just gonna turn it off really quick just so I can show you guys that this lid right here comes off and you just fill it from the top. So Will and I use our Brita filter thing to fill it up from here. So we don't even need to like take it to the sink or anything. And it has like a little nozzle on the top that I'll show you guys really quick. So that little hole on the top, you can kind of just turn it around so that way you can direct the mist. And you know, if you don't want it hitting your face, then you just gotta turn it the other way. And you literally just work the humidifier through your app. So you can put it on auto, you can put it on low, you can put it on high. If it's on auto, which I like to leave it on, that's just the humidifier doing it for you. So it will usually put the humidity in the room between 40 and 50%. So I usually sleep with it on like that at night. And with this one, it's really great that you don't have to worry about turning it off or it running out of water or anything like that, because if it does run out of water, it turns off on its own. So you don't have to worry about it. You just turn it on and know that it'll turn off on its own when it runs out of water. I love also on this app that you can actually schedule it or you can put it on a timer. And another great thing about this humidifier is that it's quiet. Like you literally hear nothing. So it's not like this weird like running noise at night when you're trying to sleep. Like it's just like the most calming thing ever. So I love it. I know you guys will love it. So if you're looking for a humidifier, go check out Levoit. Again, I did link it down below and also the discount code down below for you guys if you guys want to check it out. Back to things that I dealt with in my second trimester. How about we do like a happy one, because there's another scary thing that happened to me, but you know, let's just mix it up a little bit. Besides COVID, we found out the gender of our baby. And if you missed it or you don't follow me on Instagram, spoiler alert, it's a boy. And we're so excited because Will was just like so sure it was a girl. And I was like, babe, I'm carrying this child. I just know it's a boy. I just know it. But everyone like was like so sure it was a girl. So at our gender reveal, I was like, I'm ready to get proven wrong because you know, everybody keeps telling me it's a girl. I was right, it's a boy, and we cannot wait to meet him in like what, 9 weeks or earlier if he decides to come a little bit earlier and not, you know, go full term. Also, my nausea didn't go away until I was about, I think I was like 17 weeks until my nausea fully went away and I like actually had an appetite again. That's like 3 weeks into my second trimester. And I was like freaking out because going into my second trimester, I was just expecting like straight at 14 weeks, like, come on, bring on the heavenly trimester that everybody talks about, and you know, where you just stuff your face. And that was not the case for the first 3 weeks, but it finally stopped at 17 weeks. And I was just so grateful to not have like food aversions and to actually be like, I'm actually hungry, like I cannot wait to eat now. And I was excited about food again, and the best. So that was a really good thing that happened this last trimester. Another thing that everybody starts talking about in your second trimester is the glorious baby kicks. And you're kind of just like experiencing all these amazing things on your own with your baby and your bonding and all that stuff. But when your partner shares in that, it's just like so special. So when Will finally felt our baby boy kick, he was just like, what? This is so crazy. And recently, I know this is not the second trimester, but recently our baby boy's been hiccuping a lot, and it's probably because I'm eating so much spicy food still, and I just like, it's an addiction. I can't stop eating it. But he gets hiccups a lot, so, and you can honestly feel him hiccuping inside my tummy, and it's the cutest little thing. You just can't wait to like kiss him and squeeze him and cuddle him. You know what? I'm really surprised that I have not dealt with this more. I think it's coming back now because I feel like I dealt with this in my first trimester, but It like almost completely went away in my second trimester, and that was heartburn. And I was like, didn't they say you have a lot of heartburn, either eating a lot of spicy food, which I have always, or your baby has a lot of hair, which I think is gonna be the case for me. I feel like our boy is gonna have so much hair because Will and I are very like hairy. We have a lot of hair. And I do eat a lot of spicy food, but my heartburn completely went away in my second trimester, and I was really shocked by that. And I was very pleasantly surprised because I was like tired of eating Tums all the time. But that was another thing that, you know, happened in my second trimester. But we'll go back to the second scary thing that happened to me. I don't really remember how many weeks I was, maybe 17 weeks. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll probably remember because it was very traumatic for me. But I was on my way to go visit my family on the East Coast, and we were planning to fly out that morning. And at the airport, I fainted, like just passed out. And I will tell you guys, I don't remember a thing. I guess I do remember something. I do remember like being in the little convenience store and just feeling really hot. I was wearing a mask and I was just like, it's so hot in here. Like, why is it so hot? And I was like cashing out, and that was literally the last thing I remember. And then I woke up in just a pool of my spilled coffee. There was blood everywhere. Like, the amount of blood is probably what scared me so much when I first woke up, because I was just like, why am I bleeding? Like what just happened? Because I didn't feel the fall. I didn't feel anything. I just woke up to my mom like pulling my hair back because I was like face planted on the concrete floor, tile, whatever it was. And she was just like saying like, Natalie, like what happened? Wake up, what happened? And I like remember very clearly dreaming. So I thought I was like asleep for the night, and I was like in a deep sleep. So I definitely got a concussion. And I just woke up to my mom like turning me over, like what happened? She wasn't next to me. She was like looking at other stuff, so she didn't see me fall. The only person that saw me fall was the cashier. And she said she turned around, she freaked out when she just saw me like fall. But I literally face planted onto the ground, and I lost my front tooth, like pretty much most of my front tooth. And I had bruises all over my knees, had a bruise on my nose, had bruises on my forehead. And literally my first thought was like, did I lose my baby? Because why am I bleeding so much? And I was just like so scared. Like that was just the only thing in my head that was going on, was just where am I bleeding from? And it ended up obviously being my mouth, because I broke my tooth. And I did have a insanely awful busted lip. Like I still have a scar inside my mouth from the fall. It was just the scariest thing that could have happened to me, that could happen to anyone. And I didn't know if I had landed on my stomach. You know, I think I was 17 weeks. You're still not that big at 17 weeks. Thank God that I didn't fall right now when I'm almost 30 weeks. But we ended up having to go to the hospital and call the doctor, an OB, and they had to check if there was like any ruptures like on the placenta from the uterus, like all this stuff. Like had to do an ultrasound, and it took forever for them to find the baby's heartbeat when they first checked me. And I was just like shaking and shivering and praying under my breath that like nothing happened to our baby. Like I was just so worried about him. And I just like could not be more grateful that he was completely fine, unharmed. Everything was still very healthy besides my face. My face was the one that caught all the trauma. And I had to go to the dentist, and he ended up putting my tooth back on. So I do have like a little bit of like breakage in the tooth that I might need to go get fixed and get like an actual proper cap put on it. But you know, it looks fine for now. So that's that. But that was just like the scariest thing that could have ever happened to me besides COVID. I think I'm just like so grateful to Jesus that nothing happened to our baby, and it could have been so much worse. I could have been way further along, or you know, I could have landed and hit myself on the corner of a bookshelf or something. But like I just felt, as weird as it sounds, I just felt so protected by God in this time. That was just like not a good experience, but I'm just so grateful that I'm alive and well. My baby's alive and well, and everything is good now. Okay, and I think the last symptom that I had to deal with in my second trimester was really just getting used to like your new sleeping pattern. I am such a stomach sleeper. Like, that's like my go-to. It's my most comfy position. So now in my second trimester that your belly is growing so fast and it's really starting to pop, you cannot sleep on your stomach. It's so uncomfortable. So it's either my left side or my right side, and they don't recommend that you sleep on your back. So that's my second favorite position. So geez, it's really an adjustment getting used to, you know, sleeping with a belly, because it just really threw me off, and I don't sleep very well still to this day. Even with the pregnancy pillow, I am just like so uncomfortable. And now that he's getting even bigger, I feel like it is a mission to switch sides from left to right. I literally have to carry my belly and like flop him over to the other side when I'm like trying to get more comfortable. And then I'm just like hot, so I'm just like, ugh, the sleeping situation has not been fun. And I think we'll just get into the really quick rapid fire Q&A. First question that you guys asked me was, what are your cravings? So second trimester, my appetite definitely came back. I wasn't craving like super crazy like fattening food yet. No desserts like at all. And I was craving a lot of greens and like fruits. So like salads, like really like hearty salads, and fruits like blueberries and peaches, and yeah, that's all really. Just up until recently I started craving like chocolate. The second question was your second trimester a honeymoon phase? You know, everybody says that it is the best trimester and you're just like glowing and all that stuff. And I would say if it weren't for my accident and if it weren't for me getting COVID, I think that it's definitely the better trimester. I definitely had like a huge increase in energy. I felt like myself again, besides sleeping at night. Yeah, and your bump isn't too big and it's not too small where people are like, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? But I feel like definitely the second trimester was the easiest and the most enjoyable for sure. Third question is, have I enjoyed finding ways to dress my bump? And because we're in like a weird season in life where, you know, COVID hit and a lot of people aren't really going out as much, I feel like I'm home a lot. So I haven't really had that much fun dressing my bump. I think there's definitely some clothes that look so cute with your bump. And I would say probably dresses are my go-to right now because I just can't be bothered wearing pants. Or overalls, I love wearing overalls. I think they're really comfortable as well. But dresses and overalls are probably my go-to right now. If the whole world was back to normal and COVID didn't exist, then I think I definitely would be finding more ways to dress my bump in. Right now, I'm home a lot, so I'm just like, comfort is where I'm going right now. The fourth question was it hard to pick a name? Yes, I did not expect to have such a hard time picking a name, and I think it's partially because it was a boy, and we always had like a list of our kids' names, and we always had like a super long list of girls, and with boys it was like 3. And I feel like boys' names are so hard to come up with. I think we changed his name so many times. I don't even remember how many times we're like, that's the one. And then we're like, that's not the one. It's not the one. But we finally settled on a name. I don't even know, I think Will came up with the first name, and I think we both came up with the middle name, but yeah, I don't know, I love it. I think it's so unique. I think it's special. I love the meaning and the imagery behind it. The whole name just like flows really well, and I love it. We both love his name, but it was very hard to choose a boy's name. The next question is, what has changed about your body? Everything. Literally, I mean, besides the obvious fact that I have a huge belly, I just feel large. I think that's the best description of what I feel right now. I feel it in my face, I feel it in my arms, I feel it in my legs. I feel like my belly area has always been the last part of my body that I gain weight when I do gain weight. So now that I just have a big belly and everything else feels huge, I just feel like a giant pumpkin. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I do not feel cute at all. And I'm just like, whoa, this is a big adjustment. But you know what? With his kicks and everything that we've been through together already, I'm just so grateful that he's healthy and that I have the honor of carrying him and bringing him into the world. And it's just honestly such a miracle, and just reminds you that God is so real. You just forget how you look because you're like, whatever. You can do your best, you can eat healthy, it's good to stay active and all that stuff, but I'm just trying to embrace all the changes and motherhood. I have to just be kind to myself. So yes, lots has changed, but I'm so happy. The last question is, how am I feeling about labor? And to be completely honest, I feel like I go back and forth. There's days where I'm like, I'm Wonder Woman, I can do this. It's gonna be great, you know? And then there's days where I'm like, there's no way. Like, how am I gonna get through the pain? How am I gonna deal with a change in birth plan? Because I do wanna have, whoa, I just had a really weird hiccup. I do wanna have, you know, a vaginal birth, and I don't want to have a C-section, you know, but at the end of the day, I could just keep telling myself, I just want him to be healthy. I want me to be healthy. I want us to both come out of this alive and well, whatever that looks like. So I think that now that I'm getting closer to, you know, going through labor, I'm really just trying to just stay super positive and just picture myself on that delivery bed as Wonder Woman. Because I'm like, this is what our bodies are made to do. This is how God created us. And if women could do it back in the day with like little to no medicine, we can do it now, because thank you, Jesus, for medicine and epidural, and I'm so for it, because why not have less pain if you don't have to deal with it? That's about it, guys. That sums up this second trimester recap, catch up, Q&A. I have a really fun video coming up in the next 2 weeks that I'll be sharing with you guys what it's gonna be about on my Instagram, so don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you guys are enjoying these videos, and don't forget to comment down below if there's any recommendations that you guys want to see of certain videos or chats, all that fun stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you very soon. Bye.